Hello everyone and welcome to a video on Grums, or should I say Cums? Well, it's actually about Grums, but it involves Cums. So, Cums is, of course, just some troll, shit posting on the fact that Grums's game Ember will never come out, by jokingly making his own game that's a cuckold simulator, to make fun of him, right? Now, Comes is trying to is just making a game for the to lulz. Grums, right? Is being what I like to call a little bitch, and another term, a piece of shit, and most importantly, a scoundrel. And you meant many other insults that I could ascribe to him. But the most important one is that he legally doesn't really have much grounds to stand on. Because in order to have his trademark actually apply properly, he has to have a actual product. Like for common law trademark, you have to actually have a product associated with it that you can prove exists. See, this is ultimately the problem here. Because he cannot prove Ember exists because it doesn't, and he hasn't worked on it like nearly enough to have it be a thing. He actually cannot do this legally, right? Which, if you actually notice, if you go on the Steam page, right, it still says like the cuck simulator is the real Ember, right? And so if you go on here, Ember is the cuck simulator. It releases April 28th, so in 2 months, it releases, right, for free. So, yeah. Also because he's not making money off of it. Now he's also trying to say, oh, Cums is a malicious impersonation of our lead designer, Grums. Well, no, it's actually just calling you Cums. I mean, honestly, Grums is probably more malicious of a name already, right? Cums just means semen. Grums, so like if Cums means cum, Grum means groom, right? Like when Grum mean groomer, like, you know what I mean? So you know, I'm just like saying like Coomer or Groomer, right? If the C stands for Coomer and the G, what does the GR stand for, right? So really, your own name is more malicious than the parody. Yeah, eat that, motherfucker. You can't be made malicious of because your name stands for groomer when his stands for coomer. Aha. See, that's the ultimate defense there. Um, so we have, of course, this little thing. Now you have a Steam group and a fundraiser. Whoa, but you have no like grounds to stand on legally. Like, no, they didn't do it for damage in your game or the reputation of your designer. They actually did it because your reputation is already ruined for the game and you, right? You can't ruin Grums's reputation any further. That's the point, right? The joke is the joke is Mark Kern, right? The joke isn't the game is a cuckold simulator. The joke is that Mark Kern. You're the joke, Grums. Everyone's laughing at you. And to put even further into perspective, a longtime backer, Lord Jeebus, is suing Mark Kern. So, believe it or not, Mark Kern might have to hold out on that little bit of info because guess what? He's getting a class action lawsuit from one of his biggest backers, Lord Jeebus. And yeah, believe it or not, that class action lawsuit, might not end up well for him. Because here's the other thing, right? Class action means like a group lawsuit, right? So that means he's not the only one suing Grums right now. There's plenty of people. And that was what I was getting at, right? So Mark Kern really just screwed himself all over by not making his game in 8 fucking years. This is the ultimate point I was making with my video on reporting him to the FBI. He can't do anything because in order to do something, he would have to have worked on his fucking game, which he has not. He literally cannot win any of these cases because he has put himself in such an unwinnable spot by being such a fucking scumbag scam artist that all of these cases he will lose because he has put himself, he has only himself to blame, in an unwinnable position because he decided instead of being a game developer making Ember, he would rather be a grifting Twitter freak. And because of that, because he wants to think that what goes on Twitter is real, and convince other YouTubers a scam of Twitter being real. Like, even if we talk about Ember being real, that's another scam, but really the scam of Twitter being a real place. He sold that scam on to Smash JT, Stuttering Craig, fucking Endymion, right? So many people who are now Twitter addicts, people who used to be like somewhat normal, are now Twitter freaks. That's what Grums is doing. He is making people addicted to fucking Twitter. And it's ruining their brain cells. All of them have become massive lolcows because of their association with him. He is literally made almost everyone on the right who was seen as based 5 to 10 years ago a massive lolcow, other than the Quartering. The Quartering was already a lolcow. But other than the Quartering, pretty much all of these guys are lolcows almost entirely because of their association with Grums. Grums is that much of a piece of shit. He is like the tipster of the left. You got to remember, tipster is the exact same thing with the left. If tipster is in your circle, go the fuck away from that circle. And get the way as soon as possible, right? That's what people learned with Tipster. Any leftist who wanted to not be a lolcow had to immediately disassociate with his ass whenever he tried to associate with him. And they had to drop their friends if they ever decided to befriend Tipster. He's just that much of a piece of shit. So like that's kind of like where we're getting at. Grums is it is to the anti-woke what Tipster is to the woke, right? That's how bad Mark Kern has been. Every single person who has associated positively with him in the past 3 years is a massive lolcow, and nobody will respect them in the next few years. And the longer they associate with him positively, the more that lolcow leeches onto them. And the harder their recovery becomes. This is the fate of all who associate positively with Grums now. And the fact is, the reason why is right here. Similar with Pirate Software, right? You know how Pirate Software, has class action lawsuits coming for his game? And, they aren't happening yet, but he also, of course, is suing, fellow indie developers for making fun of him and stuff. This is all shit that Grums did and Pirate Software did, right? So if you hate Pirate Software for that and not the fucking bullshit WoW drama that no one really gives a fuck about, then you must also hate Mark Kern because they are doing the same fucking shit. Honestly, I'd say Mark Kern's WoW drama is worse because he is, always getting into something with that too, and he's never even fucking played his own fucking game. He made the game and now hasn't fucking played it at all. As far as in so long, how the fuck is anyone able to respect this piece of shit, right? It's sort of Airbag. Airbag is a piece of shit too. Let's not pretend Airbag is a good guy, right? But that's the thing, right? All of this all of this ultimately boils down to Grums is such a fucking piece of shit that he loses and makes other people lose with him because he cannot just fucking do basic fucking research on YouTube, learn to make his game, and fucking stop scamming people. It is that easy. Anyway, without further ado, fuck off, Kern. You already lost. Just accept the L now and don't go to prison. Because that's the thing. If you end up, right, suing Combs, you know what'll happen? This class action lawsuit can be elevated to a legal case, and you will go to prison. Right? You will get anally raped in prison if you actually try to push this on Combs. This is why you should not put yourself in an unwinnable situation like you have. Because you are in an unwinnable situation. There are no dubs. The closest you can get is to walk out of it without prison time. You are going to take a massive L. That massive L is going to involve refunding all of your ex-fans. Yeah, you are not going to win, Mark Kern. There is no future where you win. You have put yourself in the situation. This is your decision, by the way, right? This is your actions that have led you here. You have done this yourself. All right? If you don't like that, tough fucking luck. Because guess what, Mark? This isn't fucking your decision anymore. You lost. Get fucking real. I notice he doesn't talk about this on his Twitter now because he legitimately can't. If he admits that this happened, he also loses even quicker. And this is the thing. He's put it to himself where he will lose. There is no dubs. It will involve a crash out, and he cannot win. There is no conceivable pathway where he wins. And because of that, because of his failure, see, this is the thing. He's lying all the time, just tweeting about okay. So Doom is great, right? So Doom is great. So let's see. Doom is doing great. Dragon Age Veilguard sucked. And something about Trump that it doesn't have anything to do with gaming. Nvidia is selling a lot of graphics cards again. Apparently that's an L for Nvidia somehow. A bunch of Trump shit because apparently Trump is actually doing something. He's not actually. This is the Kirsha actually covers this. Nothing there is happening, but all right. They're just renaming it and moving it on. It's kind of funny that Also, lol. It's funny is he's right here. He is right here. But he's also wrong in that he kind of can't do anything about it anyway. But yeah, ultimately, what I love about this is who cares? Some of these games are failing. Also, Grums, you haven't played Stellar Blade. Maybe you should do that. Maybe you should do that, right? But then again, notice how he's put out this this lawsuit against the guy who actually made his game instead of him. But he doesn't talk about it here. And the reason why is because he knows he already lost. It's at this point, he cannot, he has to do what Andrew Tate is doing, right? Where he has to pretend like everything is hunky-dory on his own end try to fight tooth and nail to avoid maximum injury, end up causing it to get even worse for him, and going to prison and get namely raped because he can't fucking just admit it now and take the L like a champion and not actually go to prison. He doesn't actually get that. The road he's taken ends up in a 8x8 cell, getting fucked by a black guy who looks like Yasuke every night. That's where Mark Kern is heading, right? Mark Kern is gonna be living Assassin's Creed Shadows in real life, being a fat Asian dude that gets fucked by Yasuke. It's amazing how this ends, right? All he had to do, right, was just make his fucking game, and because he didn't do that, he has no positive ending here. And guess what? It's all him. He chose this. He's the one responsible. So remember that. Remember that, guys. Because Grums ultimately is his own undoing.